Lord Bebo on X. Epstein. They redacted the files sloppy. So now you can just copy paste the redacted parts. Go check everything out. I got to be honest, when I first saw this earlier today, I was like, they can't be this stupid. They had to have done this on purpose for a reason. What reason? God only knows. But apparently, if you pull up the Word file of the documents, you can copy the blacked out parts that are redacted and paste it in Notepad, and it just shows what's redacted in some areas, but not all of them, which makes me wonder, was it intentional, or is the government just not bright?
Oh, look at this pesky redaction. Let's just get rid of that
and paste. As of October 23rd, 2007, Indyke was listed as president of the foundation, also was a signatory on the foundation's checking accounts. Between these dates, Indyke signed foundation account checks for over $400,000 made payable to young female models and actresses, including a former Russian model who received over $380,000 through monthly payments of $8,333 made over a period of time for more than 3.5 years until the middle of 2019. I mean, I don't want to put my Alex Jones conspiracy theory tinfoil hat on, but my goodness, the timing of COVID-19 sure does line up really well with a lot of this stuff going on with the Epstein. I don't know. It's very strange. Very strange. Weird.
That is insane.
This is what happens when you fire government.
Oh, that is insane. Like legitimately something else. And everything checks out, they say. This is Mr. Obvious over on X. Breaking. 4chan has cracked the redactions and are able to see under the black text. A major investigation is starting on the Epstein files, and we can see everything. Underneath this redacted text, it says, 203, defendants also attempted to conceal their criminal trafficking and abuse conduct by paying large sums of money to participant witnesses, including by paying for their attorney's fees and case costs in litigation related to this conduct. Epstein also threatened harm to victims and helped release damaging stories about them to damage their credibility when they tried to go public with their stories of being trafficked and sexually abused. You know what's weird about this is, who is this protecting? Why would you redact this stuff? Very strange. Very strange. Why would some of this be okay to read and the rest not? Unless they're redacted because it's going to lead to other people that they don't want you finding out about. Epstein also instructed one or more Epstein Enterprise participant witnesses to destroy evidence relevant to ongoing court proceedings involving defendants' criminal trafficking and abuse conduct. There's more dirt under the other redactions as well. It is possible to tell due to a poor upload job by the DOJ. If you paste the file into your word processor, you can see each redaction. Under the redactions, you can clearly see the government was covering up for sex trafficking PDFs. The defendants, Darren K. Indyke and Richard Kahn, settled for paying $105 million to the Virgin Islands. What? The hell? They were not found innocent or unliable in any sense by the suit, so there's no reason for the government to have redacted these names other than to protect these two wealthy perpetrators of Epstein's PDF. If this one page was uploaded poorly and reveals two wealthy PDFs whom the U.S. government is protecting, then how many PDFs are being protected by the thousands upon thousands of redactions on other pages? I don't know if you can't get to the other pages or if it was just one page out of all of them that you could do this on, but the other ones you couldn't. But my goodness, that is definitely something. Chibi Review says 4chan has apparently cracked into the redacted Epstein files pages that was poorly protected. Our government is actually protecting criminals. What the hell is 2025 anymore? Which I got to be honest, did you think that the government would not be like, come on, we all know that's what they're doing. That's what it's all been about. Both sides are guilty. Democrats and Republicans, they're both covering for each other right now. So of course they're going to cover up for it. That's like the whole thing. That's why people are upset about this. People just want the truth, unless you are aligning yourself with these people and they're just like, oh yeah, no, I'm cool with it. What the hell are you hiding if you're okay with whatever the government's doing with this? Why would you not want the information out there? And the government themselves have said it's a matter of national security that we protect information here. And even somebody in government, I don't recall particularly who it was, but there was, I believe, a congressman who said that if this information got out, it would destroy the entire government. That's why it's important to make sure that we protect this situation. And I'm over here like, what? Like that's a reason to not tell people? Because the government would all be caught with this? Do they not think before they speak? Like, what the hell? This is Maine. Says, we are governed by the dumbest people in America. You can literally unredact some of the files so easily. Look at that. Copy, translate, just showing it, screenshot, look up, translate, switch, and you can see it. How can this happen? How retarded do you have to be if you're trying to do a cover up where you think you're blacking over the words and then it's just like you can just like look underneath that or remove it? Oh my God. This is certainly something. The DOJ right now. Oh crap. I have some spare brain left for the guy who had one job. So this is where I'm at with it. Maybe they did it on purpose because I know the government's retarded. I get that. But I also know that they're always thinking like 4D chess, 10 steps ahead of what people are thinking. And with a situation like this, I would like to think the first thing I jump to is not that they're retarded, is what's their end game with this? Why did they let some things be found? Because the internet is going to find stuff and they have to know that. I mean, hell, even I tried to do it when they first came through. I copied the page and I put it in ChatGPT and I said, are you able to decipher any information behind the black? Like in case they like use a different color font of black on top of it. And ChatGPT was like, no, bro, I can't do that. I was like, you can't do that because it's not legible, or you can't do that because you're not allowed to with your rules and guidelines. And it's like both. It's like, I'm not allowed to, even if I could see it, I would not be allowed to tell you. I'm like, oh, okay. But even I tried to do that. So the government needs to know that everybody was going to be trying to find something on this stuff. And this guy said, sure, but with this administration, it's hard to tell. Exactly. That's why it's like, are they retarded or just really smart with this? They invite journalists to classify signal chat groups. All this makes them look like complete morons. I'd lean more on incompetence, thus making OP the fool. I don't know. Just asking, do you think that they're thinking next level with this? I think that's a fair question to ask because, again, throughout human history, the government is always smarter than you think they are. They're also infinitely stupider than anyone could ever imagine. It's quite the dichotomy. They did. Everything they do is for a reason, and people think they found something new. And that's kind of what I'm saying here. Like, I genuinely wonder if this was done on purpose, because there's no way you could
look at
this out there
redact.
and just don't you think that they would have done this themselves to double check before they posted it for everyone? Come on. I was born, but I wasn't born yesterday, or however the saying goes. Like, come on. I was born on a day that ends in Y. I don't know. It wasn't yesterday though. Regardless of it, this whole situation just is very questionable at best. And I have a feeling if the government did this by accident, there is going to be some insane information that comes out in the coming days. Insane. Because people have already downloaded it. They can't pull it back. Once you put it on the internet, it's out there. You can't pull it back. So I am curious to see if more information comes from this. Because as of right now, if you've done any research on the Epstein files, you'd know that the only person that keeps coming up is Bill Clinton. And I'm like, bro, we get it. Bill Clinton was there. We all know that. The guy, oh, big shocker. The guy that got his dick sucked from Lewinsky under the table and cheated on his wife while he was in the Oval Office is the same dude that was creeping on chicks at Epstein Island. I know, big shocker. How about everyone else though? Like what? Come on. What is this? What are we doing? What are we doing? Man. But anyways, we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted if I hear any updates on this, because I'm sure it's going to be making national headlines if there's anything big that comes from this. But as of right now, it's just very curious with the timing of 2019 and COVID with all this happening. But I'll leave that one there.